Lately, it seems more and more older men are choosing to remain single. It's becoming increasingly common. Perhaps you've noticed it among friends, family, or even in your own life. The question is why? Why are so many men in later life deciding that being single suits them better? At first, it might appear to be about loneliness or avoidance, but listening to their experiences reveals something deeper. For many, staying single isn't about giving up on love. It's about embracing peace, independence, and happiness on their own terms. Let's explore this, because the reasons behind this trend say a lot about how men evolve, heal, and grow with age. One major reason is freedom and independence. After decades of relationships, marriage, and family responsibilities, many men finally reach a point where they can breathe. Imagine years of making decisions for two, checking in before trips, organizing weekends around family schedules, constantly balancing someone else's needs with your own. Then, suddenly, the freedom to wake up and do exactly what you want, when you want, becomes a reality. That freedom is intoxicating in the healthiest way. Many men speak of rediscovering themselves after years of compromise. One might pick up hiking again after decades. Another may travel, not to escape, but simply because they can. This independence allows them to reconnect with parts of themselves they had long neglected. Choosing without negotiation what to eat, where to live, and who to spend time with restores a sense of authenticity and brings genuine joy. For men who've carried responsibility their whole lives, this feels like real happiness. But freedom isn't the whole story. Another significant factor is emotional fatigue. Love is beautiful, but it takes energy. Men who've endured painful divorces, breakups, or the loss of a partner may find starting over overwhelming. Emotional recovery is slow and exhausting. Some simply decide they don't want to face that again. They're not bitter, they're tired. After years of ups and downs, stability becomes more appealing than excitement. The peace of solitude often outweighs the stress of another relationship. Quiet evenings, familiar routines, calm over drama, these are the rewards of choosing oneself. Emotional self-protection grows in importance with age. Time becomes precious, and the risk of heartbreak feels heavier than the prospect of lifelong singlehood. Choosing peace over pain isn't giving up, it's an act of self-respect. Practical concerns, such as finances, also play a role. After decades of work, many men want to safeguard their savings, homes, and investments. Divorces or financial setbacks in the past can make them cautious. Starting over financially, especially near or during retirement, seems daunting. For others, it's simply about maintaining freedom. Financial independence allows them to spend on what they enjoy: investments, travel, home improvements, or causes they care about without compromise. Money becomes a symbol of autonomy, not obligation. Financial control and emotional independence often reinforce each other. The dating world has changed dramatically. Older men grew up with structured relationships, meeting through friends or family, dating seriously, marrying, and raising children. Today, dating apps, casual encounters, shifting gender roles, and fast-paced interactions feel alien. Swiping, texting, situationships, ghosting, it's confusing even for younger generations. Many older men prefer to step aside rather than adapt. It's not that they reject companionship, they simply find the modern approach exhausting. Solitude has also become a source of joy. Being alone is increasingly seen as positive rather than sad. Many older men have built rich lives filled with hobbies, friends, and personal passions. Pets, projects, creative outlets, and personal routines offer fulfillment. Loneliness is emptiness. Solitude is contentment. Solitude fosters reflection, creativity, and freedom to engage in activities that truly bring satisfaction. The fear of being hurt again is another factor. Betrayal, infidelity, or heartbreak leave deep scars. Some men choose to avoid reopening those wounds. This caution comes from experience, not bitterness. Protecting emotional well-being and maintaining routines becomes a priority. Many older men now seek connections that are light, respectful, and pressure-free. Friendships, casual dating, shared activities, while retaining their independence. Love becomes a choice, not a need. Staying single often leads to personal growth and self-discovery. After years of living for others, many men ask, who am I outside of my roles as husband, father, or provider? For some, this opens new opportunities as painting, writing, volunteering, fitness, and other passions. Being single becomes a chance to heal, explore, and redefine identity. It's not selfish, it's self-development. Time once spent maintaining relationships can now be devoted to becoming the best version of oneself. Older men stay single not because they've given up on love, but because they are finally living. Being alone doesn't signify incompleteness, it allows them to build a life that feels authentic, even if it defies societal expectations. This shift from seeking external validation to cultivating inner peace is profound. Priorities naturally shift with age. Romance and partnership may take a back seat to peace, purpose, and meaning. After careers, marriages, and raising children, the focus turns inward. Fulfillment often comes from contribution, creativity, or calm, rather than romance. Many men dedicate themselves to mentoring, learning, volunteering, or exploring passions, finding satisfaction without the pressures of relationships. Health, both physical and mental, becomes increasingly important. Singlehood allows men to structure their lives around well-being. Fitness, nutrition, meditation, and rest can be prioritized without compromise. Emotional calm and mental serenity become more valuable than romantic connection. Escaping societal expectations brings relief. Men feel liberated from pressures to marry, have children, and meet milestones. After completing those chapters, they can live authentically, without external judgment or obligation. Comfort with routines and familiarity further reinforces contentment. Reconfiguring life to accommodate someone else can feel disruptive, not rewarding. Many simply appreciate the stability they've created. The reluctance to start over also plays a role. Years of raising children and managing responsibilities can make the prospect of rebuilding domestic life daunting. Men want quieter chapters, not repeated challenges. They are realistic about what they can give and what they need in return. Social perceptions of singlehood have evolved. Once stigmatized, living alone is now increasingly accepted. Older men can openly choose singlehood without judgment, finding pride in building a full, independent life. Putting these factors together: independence, emotional peace, financial security, shifting priorities, reduced societal pressure, a clear picture emerges. Older men aren't single because they can't find a partner, they're single because they no longer need to. They choose lives that reflect who they've become. After decades of compromise, they've earned the freedom to live on their own terms. Whether traveling solo, enjoying quiet mornings, or spending time with friends, their choices reflect peace and authenticity. Staying single isn't avoidance, it's a celebration of self. Fulfillment doesn't follow a single formula. For some, love still matters. For others, solitude, stability, and self-respect take precedence. Older men who choose to remain single are living differently, often more honestly, than society expected. Their joy comes from peace, freedom, and self-discovery. If you're still figuring it out, that's fine. There's no timeline for understanding oneself. You may meet someone or continue solo. The key is aligning choices with who you truly are. Ultimately, this isn't about being single, it's about growth. It's about embracing authenticity and finding peace within oneself. Once a man learns contentment alone, everything else becomes a choice, not a need. Perhaps the real question isn't why older men stay single, but why not? Why not celebrate solitude, autonomy, and the freedom to live authentically? For many, staying single isn't retreating from love, it's a return to themselves. This is the kind of fulfillment that doesn't depend on another person. The most rewarding relationship may well be the one you have with yourself. So when asked, why are you single? The simplest answer is also the most powerful: because this is how I'm happy. Because this feels like peace.